Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is day one of the Unmute Yourself Challenge, the 5-day rewire. Oh my goodness. If you can't tell, I am very excited that you are here. I am very excited that you have taken this very first step to rewiring your brain and to show up and to be seen and to train our nervous system that it is okay to be seen. Okay. Maybe I've had too much coffee, but I just want to make sure that you have enough time to make sure you've got some tea or some water. I've got my coffee in a cute little snowy dog mug. Hooray. Um, you know, um, maybe get some Malort. I don't know what's in your cup, and if you don't know what Malort is, come to Chicago, let me know. We'll go get some. You'll probably never want to have it again in your life. If you know, you know. You can Google that later. But also please make sure that you have some sort of journal or paper or some sort of writing utensil of any kind. What else do I have here? Post-it notes, anything. But I want this to be, if you can't tell, I want this to be a fun, a lively, a safe space for you to feel okay to be seen and to be okay to participate and to be okay to be you. And yeah, so that's what we're doing today. No performative BS, none of that, none of that. So let's just get right into it. So I'm going to start with the story. So we're today, again, we're talking about visibility. Again, this is a 5-day challenge. This is day one. Um, I should have a little like you are here map as we go through the days. But today there's no formal presentation. There's no um it will be me talking at you. But but there's going to be a bit of a journaling exercise, a little bit. I'm going to be telling you a little bit of my story. I'm going to let you know what to expect. And then also, we're going to do a little bit of mindset reframe because we're in it. We're doing it. We're not waiting until tomorrow. That starts now. And then some encouragement at the end. So make sure you stick around to the end. I think everyone says that in every presentation. Stick around to the end. And if you haven't, and if you don't stick around to the end, make sure you get your butt into Growth Squad because that is, if you're not already, if you are, thank you. Hooray is my new favorite place on the internet. I might be biased. There's a great group of women business owners in there ready to support you and to cheer you on, myself included. I will be there answering any and all of your questions. We will have co-working throughout the month. This is our first challenge, hooray. Many more. Go check out the classroom, aka the Growth Vault. Um, there are, I was trying to think of picturing the vault. There's at least 9 different things in there at the time of this recording, with more. I originally set out to that there would be one like big content drop per month on top of the monthly challenges. So you would get like a new tool or resource or something like that, or a new mini course every month for premium members. On top of the monthly challenges like what we're doing right now. Um, but instead, I have just been adding stuff throughout the month. So, so you're getting more. Nobody usually complains about more. So, it's all in your best interest. It's all like I have an idea. If a client asks for something, I am like, oh, I should just put this in the vault. So yeah, so when membership has its perks, is what we'll say with that. So okay, but anyways, without further ado, visibility. I am no stranger to having a fear of being seen. And if you're a coach, you probably became a coach because you had a problem and now you help people get over that problem, right? Well, visibility is one of those things that I had a problem with, that I struggled with, and to a certain degree do still struggle with. But as you'll see, And as you probably can see, not nearly to the degree that it once was. So, um, I wanted to make a joke there saying like, thankfully, like, I hope you're benefiting from it. So where that, I guess, culminated, I guess where it really came to a head is probably, I want to say circa 2019, so pre-pandemic. And Sparked was in a co-working space out of WeWork on Michigan Avenue in Chicago. Gorgeous view. My goodness, I love looking at the lake. If you know me or know anything about me or follow me on Instagram, you will see most of my stories are me and the dog walking by the lake. And so throughout all the different seasons. And it is just my favorite thing. I love that lake so much. And so being able to see it every day from our office was just such a gift. And it was around that time that I was also launching my very first course. And it was a 6-week program all about marketing strategy. And it was the first time I was like doing the thing because I'd always been B2B. And so, doing live online events, is not really a part of that marketing funnel. It can be, it certainly can be. Um, and I had done them, don't get me wrong, but like not in the way that we know it to be done now. Not where like you're running ads and you're going to talk in front of people online in this little Zoom box. I don't think we even had Zoom back then. Again, pre-pandemic. Um, and it was just the first time that I was really like putting myself out there in that kind of a way. And I had presentation, had like the messaging. I was so amped. I had been living this marketing course, this like, well, I'd been living the strategy since I started Sparked in 2012. The whole thing was born out of the agency work that we were doing with our clients, and it was now productized to where I was teaching other agency owners how to do what we were doing. And it was pretty successful. I grew the business to $500,000. So, I mean, it worked. And so, um, the day of, I just froze. I didn't quite have a panic attack, but I definitely had an attack of panic. And so like I laugh about it now. But in the moment it was anything but funny. And I like I broke down crying and Jessica, I love you so much. She is in GrowthSquad. And so if you're watching this, thank you so much. Um, she was working for me at the time and she was my just the most best wonderful person in the world. Anyways, oh, so she gave me this huge hug, and I was just so scared. I was just so and I don't even at that time didn't even know of what. And but now looking back, now I know I was afraid of being seen. I was afraid of people not showing up. I was afraid of what if I did something wrong? What if I said something wrong? What if people didn't like my face? Which I don't know. You might not like my face, but you're here anyways. So clearly I've gotten over that. But she gave me a huge hug, and it's a hug I will never forget. And we canceled the webinar. I just sent out an email. I'm like, I can't do this. I just couldn't. I was too scared. And we blamed it on tech. And so, I sent out an email saying, so sorry we had technical difficulties. So even though, I mean, I don't encourage lying, obviously. Um, but but yeah, so if you were on the email list for that event, it was called Growth Map, was the name of the program. Did eventually launch it. It was successful. And here many courses later, here I am. So but how I got out of that was that I just kept trying. Frankly, it's like I just kept trying. And what it did actually happen one or two more times. Um, but I showed up, but it showed up differently each time. And what ended up happening, it wasn't, it didn't feel quite as intense or in the same way as it did that time. But it then started to show up in the form of me not promoting the event. And so that was like I noticed this pattern of like I would be like I would have, hey, we're gonna do this big live event. It's gonna be an hour, it's gonna be great. Just show up, it's free. Um, but then I wouldn't promote it. And then all of a sudden it'd be like a week away, I had no signups. And I'm like, and then the whole of like, oh my God, what if nobody shows up? And it's so interesting to me because I would have no problem showing up on a live. Like it just I have an idea would come to me, a topic of like, hey, I've noticed that business owners are struggling with um writing blog posts at the time, or let's say like going live on Facebook, right? And so just go live on Facebook and do the thing, like show what it was that people are having trouble with, because I like taking action. I'm all about like let's break this down into pieces that are manageable. But I wasn't telling people that the event was happening. So it became like doing the event became no longer a problem. Now it became telling people about the event, which is still a visibility issue. It's still an issue of having fear of being seen. But so what I needed to do is to teach myself, more specifically my brain, that it was safe to run a planned live event, that it wasn't like, oh, it's live on and spontaneous, so no one's gonna be there anyways. Like I was like trying to like, find workarounds. Like, well, no one's gonna be there if I just do it. It's like, no, girl, that's not how this works. So I needed to teach my brain that it was safe even if only one person showed up. And it was safe to run a planned live event, even if no one showed up. And so if you've ever had that kind of experience or that kind of if that resonates with you, like tell us about it in Growth Squad. Tell us about it in the community because I want to hear about it. And everyone wants to hear about it, right? Like I hope that by sharing my story and how I felt and like nearly like this is now 6 years later, and like thinking about that still like brings up emotion for me. Like if that resonates with you in any way, shape, or form, like your story is going to help someone. So please share it. And so what are we to expect from this week? What are we to expect from the 5-day visibility rewire? I'm so glad you asked. Thank you. Hopefully no more like teary moments from me. But if we do, that'll be okay. There's no shame in that game. We are human, we have emotions. And so day one, you're here, you're doing it. Like I said, yes, yes, yes. Give yourself a big old pat in the back, a big old self hug. Get yourself some coffee or treat yourself to your favorite coffee because you've done it. I mean, have some champs later if that's your jam. But you're doing the thing and you are showing up, you are being seen, and look, I don't bite. You're safe. It's okay. You are already on your path to creating new neural pathways. So, bravo. And day two, what we're going to really focus on is noticing what it is about the beliefs that you have that keep you quiet. So, for example, like in my story of like when I was promoting the webinar, I had this belief that if I showed up live and there were people in the chat, they're gonna yell at me like the online equivalent of like throwing tomatoes on stage, right? Like that was a fear. Um, did it happen? No. Well, because I canceled it, but like later, technicality. But later when I did run live events, no one has told me they hate my face. Not yet. I mean, and if they do at this point, fuck them. It's not, that says more about them than it does me. So, yeah, so we're gonna go through that and find those beliefs that are keeping you quiet. We want to uncover the hidden thoughts and the conditioned stories that you are holding on to that for whatever reason are telling you and your nervous system that visibility isn't safe. And then on day three, we're gonna reframe, we're gonna practice new visibility habits. I mean, we're gonna already start doing that today too, but like that's gonna be the core of day three. So we're gonna introduce small doable ways to show up that are not gonna trigger your nervous system. So we're gonna find fun little loopholes without your nervous system knowing. And then on day four, we're gonna be basically building a safe container for your voice. So how can we create boundaries, rituals, support systems around you so that visibility feels grounded without feeling performative? Because we don't want you to feel like you're the ringleader of a circus, right? Your business might already feel like a bit of a circus. Your life might feel like a circus. We don't need to add to that here, okay? We're not about that. And then on day five, we're going to celebrate your progress. And we're going to like really anchor into your new normal because frankly, the challenge won't end here. The challenge will not end here. It does not end on day five. Like our time together in this challenge will end on day five. However, you this is a constant thing to be worked on. And I will tell you ways that we can help you with that, of course. Um, you're not like going to be off on your own and in the wild. You can stay in Growth Squad, hang out with us. We'll keep working on these things together. But we want to reflect and celebrate and we want to, guide you to the next steps on setting up your intentions on how to stay visible with less effort and more ease. And every baby step that you take throughout this week is a huge win. The baby steps are really truly actually big leaps. And I want that to really sink in is that when you are th- thinking to yourself, and I'm thinking of like the nasty voice in my head sometimes that will still rear her ugly head. Um, you might find yourself like being hard on yourself for celebrating a small win and being like, "Oh, that's not really that big of a deal. Why are we celebrating that? That's not that big of an accomplishment. We're not celebrating that. We're not getting the coffee. We're not getting the extra whipped cream on top." But no, I want you to do those. Those are actually really big leaps because every time you are doing something new and you are trying something different, you are creating a new neural pathway in your brain and you are teaching your nervous system again that it is safe and that you are okay, that you're safe and that you're taking action. We can learn an infinite amount of information. We can consume an infinite amount of information, right? But we're not going to really embody it until we feel it in our body. Like it's why it's called embody, right? Is that you can know a thing, but to do a thing and to have that experience, totally different things, totally different, just totally different. So we're about the action. We're about taking those baby steps because they will get you light years ahead than someone just sitting behind the screen thinking about their next move and not actually taking their next move. I literally just saw this yesterday. It was a note on Substack that said, if you were, and there's a lot of authors on Substack and a lot of writers, like professional writers, and I'm sure that was the audience for this, but it's true for everyone. I loved it. I saved it. Rejection means you're trying. Rejection means you're trying. And so if you're doing something, and if you're anything worth doing is going to be a challenge, right? And so if you're doing the thing and you're getting some form of rejection, whether it is, I don't like your face. I'm just gonna keep going with that. I like my face. I don't know why I'm picking on my poor face today. Um, or whatever troll comment that people will come up with on like Instagram or Facebook or wherever you are, fucking Twitter. Anyways, it's not real. It's like you're fine. Like it doesn't have to actually affect you. So we're gonna rewire all of that. So I would like to start by going through a mindset reframe. You are not broken. If you have ever frozen, ghosted, your own marketing plan, like I did with the webinar that I abruptly canceled, or stared at a post for 45 minutes only to delete it, you are not alone and you are definitely not broken. I want to make sure that this is so clear. You are not broken. And it's because the reason visibility feels so hard isn't also is not mindset. It's not always mindset. And it's why you can't mindset your way out of some situations, right? Your brain is wired to protect you. And it does not, I feel like I say this all the time, it does not know the difference between the saber-toothed tiger, which I don't think was actually around the time of humans, but whatever. Tangent. The tiger, we'll just go with an everyday tiger, right? Everyday tiger. Our brains, our nervous systems do not know the difference between the tiger or the bear that is trying to chase us down for lunch as a little snack, because you are a little snack. And it doesn't know the difference between actual real danger. And we're wired to scan for danger all the time. So the moment it gets a whiff of any sort of danger, your brain is like, shut that shit down. Mm-mm. Nope, nope, nope. And then also like being visible, especially as a woman, as a person from a marginalized community, or as someone who was raised to not take up too much space, it can and sometimes literally can be dangerous. And that danger gets signaled to our nervous system. And so we feel like, even if it's real or perceived, it feels real. And we need to be aware of that these perceived dangers, they come from somewhere, and so we need to uncover them and again find those loopholes around of like, okay, it's not really life or death. You're here, you're safe in this moment, you are safe. And so we just need to make sure that we continue to teach ourselves that. And so what ends up happening is you end up queuing when you're in that sort of like, not a panic attack, but it feels like a an attack of panic. Your nervous system has been cued to either do the flight, fight, flee. Oh my God. Fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. That one does not get talked enough about, but we all know it. We all know it's real. Your body is not trying to sabotage you. It's just trying to protect you. And I also want to reframe the idea of procrastination and inconsistency, especially for our us neurospicy folk. Procrastination is often a form of needing the dopamine rush of the deadline and like, oh my God, it has to get done, and like needing that deadline in order for you to like get into the groove of doing the thing. Um, and it's not laziness. It is not a discipline issue. They're all protective patterns. Overthinking is your brain scanning for safety. So all the people that are like, you're just a procrastinator and you're just not consistent. That's what it might look like on the surface, but what's actually happening is your brain just thinks it's unsafe. And so that need to like get it perfect before you hit publish feeling, that's like the readiness trap. It's a loop that keeps you quiet. It's like, well, I'll do X when I Y. I will go live and promote my new course when I have 100 signups. Girl, do the webinar without any signups. Do it. Just get it done. Because even if you're presenting to no one, you could share it later. So speaking from it like a tactical, like going from like, the theoretical to like the actual practical, use it. use it as a YouTube long form video. Break it out into reels for Instagram or TikTok. Like put it on YouTube Shorts. Take the audio out and make that a podcast episode or use the transcript and turn it into a blog post. Like, how many things did I just rattle off? Like, look at, I just made your marketing plan. You're welcome. Your content strategy plan for the month. There you go. Turn the blog post into a newsletter. Send that out. Okay. There you go. How's that for free 99? And so all of that is to say is you will be able to do something with it. It won't be for nothing is my point there, is that you will, even if no one shows up, and you knows, you don't know who will show up. Again, how many times have you heard stories of like the big public speaker who at one point when they were getting started, or maybe even sometimes like midway down, to like like industry celebrity level, have presented to a room in like a hotel somewhere with one person that showed up. Well, that person just got a ridiculous deal on a one-on-one session with you. So give them everything. Give them everything because you don't know who that person knows. You don't know who that person is, what that person is planning. You don't know who that person will refer you to later. And also, they paid or didn't in the case of like a free webinar, but they paid with their time. And so give them everything that they came to enjoy and to get the value from. And it's practice for you. And so I just want you to remember that you don't need to become a different person in order to grow your business. No, Sparked, Grow Squad, all of it. We are all about you are who you are. You don't need to become someone different. You might need different habits. We might need to make some changes because when you change nothing, nothing changes. But you're still you. And I don't want you to think that you have to like suddenly become like a reality TV star and feel like you have cameras around you all the time. If you want to do that, fine, no shade, but you don't have to put on airs. You don't have to have a full face of makeup. Like, I don't have any makeup on. Hello, I have no makeup on. Thank goodness for the Zoom touch up my appearance, right? I do love that feature. Thank you for smoothing me out just a little bit. You need to just show up as you, basically. Like if you look at my reels, it's most of the time it's me just showing up however I am that day. Sometimes I have my hair done, sometimes I have makeup on, most of the time I don't. And it doesn't change how I run the business. How I show up, like physically and like appearance wise, does not change what's in here. I know that's not how the whole world thinks, and I know it's a little harsher on the world is a little harsher on some of us than others. Um, and is harsher on all of the women folk from a visual standpoint than the men folk. But um, like, have you seen my ex-boyfriends? Just teasing. Oh my God, I gotta stop with the jokes. I've had some sass in my coffee today. Uh, so what I want you to do is reflection time. We're gonna get more serious for a second, just for a moment. Reflection time. And I want you to share this if you're comfortable, of course. But what I would love for you to share in the group is when have you held back from showing up? Think of a time, recent or distant past, but think of a time where you held back and where, maybe it's like my story where it was like I canceled a webinar because and I blamed tech or the old dog ate my homework sort of a thing. I couldn't do the presentation because the I didn't have the right adapter or something. I don't know. What is that? What is that story for you? And then why? Why did you hold yourself back? What was most of the time I'm trying to think of like most of the time it's fear, right? But like fear of what? And let's try to uncover that. Again, safe space. I don't want you to have to relive trauma But hopefully we're talking about work stuff and it's not that dramatic, right? We're um, working to move past these things. So when have you held back from showing up and why? And if you want, just reflect silently. And if you want to pop it into the group, that'd be amazing. And we'll have a post in the group after this that it is a little recap, and you'll be able to share in the comments there. It doesn't have to be its own post, but you are more than welcome to create your own post at any point. It doesn't have to be just about this. And I want to remind you, this is a first step. You've taken it. You've taken, now that we're at the end of the presentation, you're at the end of day one, you have done it. You're on your way. Now we get to talk about day two. And so that was your homework, is just to reflect on a time that you held back from showing up and why, and examine it, think about it. And then if you, like I said, if you want, you can share in the group. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about noticing the beliefs that whisper, not yet, every time you try to be seen. So we're going to start noticing those. So if you want to get ahead a little bit, start thinking about when you've noticed, whenever you hear that little voice in your head, go, not yet. You're not ready. And then we're going to kick her to the curb because fuck that. You're ready. You're more ready than you've ever been in your entire life. So, yeah. All right. To day two, or on to day two, I should say. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourself. You're not doing this for me. You're doing this for yourself. But I thank you for being here and thank you for doing this work. The world needs your voice. That's the whole reason why I'm doing this, is that I need to hear your voice. The world needs to hear your voice. Someone out there will benefit from your story, from the gifts that you have, from the skills that you've gained, that you've spent so much time to hone. To not share them is a tragedy. And I don't want that. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for myself. The world doesn't want that for you. I'm trying to think of a better way to end this. I'm like, I don't want to end on that note, but I guess we will. All right. Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate you being here so very much. And like I said, thank you for giving this gift of time to yourself. And I'll see you on day two.